business owners, have you been watching the markets? Because remember what happens in Washington, what happens in the market, and what happens globally? All of these things will impact you, your money, and your business. That is why we're going to go through the major recent headlines of the market together, and we're going to talk about how this is going to affect us, what we need to be doing, and to make sure we put ourselves in the safest, most profitable position possible. So let's get after it. After 2 years of literally having high inflation, our inflation rate has finally come down.
Oh, thank God.
Inflation means that we are paying more at the pump for our gas, we're paying more at the market for our eggs, our meats, that our normal commodities that we have to buy as consumers to be able to take care of ourselves have increased drastically. That is really what inflation is all about. Prices are going up and wages and other things are not going up equally in direct proportion to how prices are going up. What has really happened in regards to that is that our government has increased interest rates. Almost every single quarter, you hear them talking about a rate increase, a rate increase, a rate increase. Those interest rates are going to be increased to slow the economy down and hopefully slow down inflation. Although inflation has slowed down, I am just going to caution you to continue to proceed with caution. Don't go out there buying anything major. Don't go out there putting yourself in a lot of debt, because we are really sort of like in this wobbly situation. So as it pertains to inflation, take advantage of the fact that prices have come down, but don't overbuy for anything. Buy what you need, no more, no less. Student loans. Wow, what a big issue. Biden had talked about there was going to be student loan forgiveness. Well, that was a complete fail. That went to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court said,
absolutely not.
We are not going to forgive student loans. So over the last 3 years, we have been in this forbearance of student loans. There has been no interest. There has been no payment. But starting September 1st, the actual interest is coming back. So what is really happening now around student loans, where the Biden administration has put in place a new process where they're saying that your student loan repayments are going to be based on the amount of income that you're currently making. And that if an individual is making $35,000 or less, they're not going to have student loan payments. And if you're in the household of 4 or more individuals and you make $67,000 or less, you're not going to have student loan payments. Part of my concern is, what's going to happen to those student loan payments? Is your income going to be halted to $67,000 to $32,000? Is the student loan going away? The fact that you're going to halt the payments doesn't really make me feel good if I know I'm still amassing interest against the loan amount and the loan balance is still increasing. That's not helping the situation. So if you have a student loan and you can afford to pay it, my recommendation to you, start paying your student loan. Oh my gosh, where are we with this housing market? Interest rates have increased so much that a lot of people are not selling their homes. A lot of individuals that own property that would typically sell are not willing to sell because they're sitting on interest rates that are 2.75%, 3%, 3.25%, 4%. They're not willing to sell their homes and step up to a higher home with a 6.5% interest rate or 7% interest rate, depending on where interest rates are right now. So the housing market is really in this sort of limbo state. There's not a lot of inventory out there. Sellers aren't really willing to sell. Buyers are a little hesitant because the interest rates are higher. My recommendation to you, having been on this earth probably a little bit lower than a lot of you, is that if you can afford to buy, go ahead and buy. Interest rates go up and down. Eventually, you will be able to refinance and take that interest rate down. When I bought my first home, my interest rate was 10.6%. Yes, 10.6%. So as much as these interest rates are they as high as some of us are accustomed to? Absolutely not. So if you're in the market to buy a home and you can afford it, go out there and buy it. But remember, do not overextend yourself. And so in talking about interest rates, let's just go there right now. Interest rates are increasing on debt. It is increasing. Check out your credit card interest rates. Are they 18%? Are they 21%? Or are they 29%? You cannot afford to be in that type of credit card debt with interest rates being that high. But on the flip side of that coin, if interest rates are high, guess what I'm starting to see at banks? Banks are now starting to pay a higher amount of interest on savings accounts. So if you have any money sitting anywhere, move that money into a savings account, move that money into a money market, move that money into a CD, and take advantage of the interest rate. I don't care if the interest rate is only 3% or 4%. That's 3 or 4% more than what you have been getting. So move your emergency fund into that savings account and start earning some interest. The key is do not lock up. Do not lock up in a CD your emergency fund. Don't lock it up for a year. Don't lock it up for 6 months, because you might need to pull on that in the event of an emergency, and you don't want to lose the interest that you have earned. Our economy right now is in a very unique position. I haven't seen an economy like this for as long as I've been on this earth. It is very different. We have companies laying off employees. We have some companies at the lower labor market not even be able to hire enough employees. Restaurants can't hire enough workers. A lot of our retail sales companies can't hire enough workers, but the skilled worker job market is starting to lay off. So my advice to you is be smart, save your money. Don't job hop, because the newest person hired is typically the first person fired. Be smart, save your money, make strategic decisions, and anything that you don't need, make sure that you don't go out and get it. Start to hunker down, start to save your money, and look for other ways to go out and make money. There's nothing wrong with having a W-2 job and having a side hustle. Your side hustle can be your savings account that you are starting to amass and build. But the key takeaway is start to be frugal. I don't believe in that philosophy. I'm just going to go make some more money to pay for that next thing. Do I believe in making more money? Absolutely. But if I can't pay for that next thing right now, Carla's not buying it right now. But I'm going to continue to make money. So just remember that. Make sure you stay on top of what's happening with inflation. Manage your student loans, start paying for it. The housing market, if you're in the market to purchase, go ahead and purchase. You can always refinance when rates come down. Everything is cyclical, and pay attention to what's going on in this job industry. Business owners, here's the thing. As you are managing your business day to day, you got to start thinking about managing your business from the perspective of how much capital you need to keep your business running. Do you need to go out and acquire capital, money, loans at that higher interest rate, or do you need to scale back? These are the types of things that we got to start thinking about as business owners. All of these decisions have to be made in tandem with what's going on in a global economy, not just what's going on inside of your office. If your business is booming, do you anticipate it booming next year and the year after? A lot of my business owners were booming during COVID, but those same businesses have closed today. Make sure you stay diligent around your service offerings, around your service, and what your next moves need to be. And now that you know better, you got to do better. You got to go out, like, comment, and subscribe, because you cannot afford not to stay informed.